My name is Mark Johnson. I'm 35, a software engineer living in Austin, Texas. I met my wife, Emily, 32, when we were both students at the University of Texas. I was studying computer science, and she was working toward a business degree. We crossed paths at a mutual friend's party, and something just clicked between us. We bonded over our love for hiking and live music, and our relationship blossomed quickly. After graduation, we both landed jobs in Austin. Emily started her career in real estate, and I found a position at a tech company downtown. We moved in together, sharing a small apartment while we saved up for a house. 2 years later, we got married in a small ceremony attended by close friends and family. We eventually bought a house in a quiet neighborhood not too far from Zilker Park. Our careers flourished, and life was good. We were happy, or so I thought. The first sign that something was wrong came in the form of small, almost imperceptible changes in Emily's behavior. She started working late more often, citing urgent meetings with clients. Her phone, which she used to leave lying around the house, was now always with her, and she seemed more protective of it. I noticed her texting more frequently, often with a smile on her face. At first, I brushed these thoughts aside, attributing them to the stress and demands of her job. Our intimate moments became less frequent, and she seemed distant, even when we were together. She would often retreat into her thoughts, her eyes clouded with something I couldn't quite place. I tried to talk to her about it, but she assured me everything was fine, just work pressures. I wanted to believe her, so I did, at least for a while. My suspicions grew when I found a receipt for a dinner at a fancy restaurant tucked inside her purse. It was from a night she had told me she was working late. When I asked her about it, she said it was a client dinner. Her explanation sounded plausible, but something felt off. I tried to convince myself that I was being paranoid, that there was a logical explanation for everything. However, the nagging doubt continued to eat away at me. Emily's behavior grew more erratic. She would sometimes be overly affectionate, other times cold and detached. I noticed her taking more care with her appearance, wearing makeup and dressing up even on days she claimed to be working from home. The inconsistencies were piling up, and I couldn't shake the feeling that something was wrong. Unable to shake my suspicions, I decided to look for more concrete evidence. I began checking her social media for any unusual activity but found nothing out of the ordinary. I then resorted to more invasive methods, like checking her phone when she was in the shower. I found a few flirty messages from a contact saved as Samantha, but nothing conclusive. I knew what I was doing was wrong, but the nagging doubt was becoming unbearable. One evening, while Emily was out, I found myself going through her emails. It was there that I found several messages from a man named Jason. They were colleagues, working on a big project together, according to the emails. However, the tone of their correspondence was far from professional. There were mentions of dinners, drinks, and inside jokes that spoke of a relationship that went beyond work. One night, armed with the investigator's report and the emails I had found, I decided to confront Emily. I showed her the photos of her meeting Jason and asked her to explain. She was silent for a moment, her face a mask of shock and guilt. Then she broke down, admitting that she had been seeing Jason for the past few months. She said it started as a friendship, but quickly turned into something more. I listened quietly, a mix of anger, sadness, and betrayal washing over me. She apologized, saying she never meant for it to go this far, but I could see the truth in her eyes. Our marriage was over. I felt a strange sense of relief in finally knowing the truth, even though it hurt more than I could have imagined. Dear viewers, more than 90% watch my content without subscribing. If you still have not subscribed, then I ask you to do so. For me, this is the best motivation to continue. After the initial shock wore off, I knew I had to move forward. I contacted a lawyer and started the process of filing for divorce. Emily and I agreed to an amicable separation, and she moved out to stay with a friend. The logistics of dividing our assets, dealing with paperwork, and informing our families and friends were draining, but necessary steps toward a new beginning. We had several difficult conversations about our marriage, what went wrong, and how we could have done things differently. Emily expressed regret and sorrow, but it was clear to both of us that there was no going back. The trust had been shattered, and the foundation of our relationship was irreparably damaged. As the divorce proceedings went on, I sought advice from friends who had been through similar situations. They told me to focus on myself, to take time to heal, I started going to therapy, which helped me process my emotions and understand what went wrong in our marriage. I also joined a support group for divorced men, where I found camaraderie and understanding. I reconnected with old hobbies like hiking and playing guitar. I began volunteering at a local animal shelter, something I had always wanted to do but never found the time for. These activities provided a sense of purpose and distraction from the pain of my failed marriage. Slowly, I began to find joy in these pursuits again. The divorce was finalized after 6 months. Emily and I parted ways, wishing each other well, but knowing we could never be friends. I continued to see my therapist, who helped me navigate the complex emotions that came with the end of a long-term relationship. I focused on my career, taking on new projects and challenges. I also started traveling, something Emily and I had always planned to do but never got around to. It was liberating, exploring new places and meeting new people. I took trips to places I had always dreamed of visiting: the Grand Canyon, Yellowstone, and even a week in New York City. Each journey was a step toward reclaiming my independence and rediscovering who I was outside of my marriage. A year after the divorce, I felt ready to start dating again. I joined a few online dating sites and went on a few dates. It was awkward at first, but I eventually met someone who shared my interests and values. Her name was Lisa, a graphic designer with a passion for photography. We took things slow, building a strong foundation based on trust and mutual respect. Lisa and I spent our weekends exploring new hiking trails, attending music festivals, and simply enjoying each other's company. It felt different from my relationship with Emily, more honest and open. I was cautious but hopeful that this new chapter in my life would be a happier one. The memories of my marriage with Emily continued to linger, occasionally surfacing in unexpected moments. I would drive by our favorite coffee shop or hear a song we used to listen to and be hit with a wave of nostalgia and sadness. Therapy sessions often brought these feelings to the forefront, and my therapist, Dr. Wilson, encouraged me to confront them rather than push them away. We talked about the early days of my relationship with Emily, dissecting where things might have gone wrong. There were moments of clarity and painful realizations. I had to accept my own shortcomings and recognize the patterns that led us to our eventual downfall. It was a process of understanding and forgiving, both Emily and myself. Visiting my parents in San Antonio after the divorce was challenging. They loved Emily and had welcomed her into the family with open arms. Breaking the news to them had been one of the hardest things I had to do. They were supportive but clearly saddened by the turn of events. My mother in particular had a hard time reconciling the Emily she knew with the person who had hurt her son. During my visits, we talked about everything from my childhood to the lessons I had learned through my marriage. These conversations were healing, helping me to piece together my identity outside of my relationship with Emily. Work became a crucial part of my recovery. I threw myself into my projects, often working late into the night. My dedication didn't go unnoticed, and I received a promotion to lead a new team developing cutting-edge software. The added responsibility and the chance to mentor younger engineers gave me a renewed sense of purpose. However, I also had to learn to balance my work with my personal life. The lessons from my marriage taught me that neglecting one for the other could have devastating consequences. I started setting boundaries, ensuring I had time for hobbies, friends, and my budding relationship with Lisa. Navigating the dating scene in my 30s was a unique experience. Online dating apps were a far cry from the way I had met Emily. I had to adapt to the new dynamics, learning to present myself in a few curated photos and a bio. There were awkward first dates, some promising and others disastrous. I learned to enjoy the process, seeing it as an opportunity to meet new people and understand what I truly wanted in a partner. Meeting Lisa was a turning point. We matched on a dating app, and our first date was at a small, cozy cafe downtown. She was intelligent, creative, and shared my love for the outdoors. We connected over our mutual interests, and our conversations flowed effortlessly. It felt natural, easy, and for the first time in a long while, I felt a spark of genuine happiness. Building a new relationship required a foundation of trust, something I struggled with after Emily's betrayal. Dear viewers, I ask you to subscribe to the channel under this video. I will be very grateful to you. Lisa was patient, understanding the scars left by my past. We communicated openly about our fears and insecurities, working through them together. Trust was rebuilt slowly, through shared experiences and consistent honesty. One particular weekend stands out in my memory. We decided to go on a camping trip to Big Bend National Park. The vast, rugged landscape provided a perfect backdrop for us to connect on a deeper level. We hiked during the day, and at night we sat by the campfire, sharing stories and dreams. It was a pivotal moment for us, solidifying our bond and reinforcing the trust we were building. Through my journey, I learned valuable lessons about love, trust, and resilience. I realized the importance of self-awareness and the need to address issues head-on rather than letting them fester. My time with Emily, though ultimately painful, was not wasted. It taught me to appreciate the good moments and to learn from the bad. I also learned the value of a support system. My friends, family, and therapists played crucial roles in my recovery. They provided different perspectives, comfort, and sometimes the tough love I needed to move forward. Reconciliation with my past was an ongoing process. Occasionally, I would run into mutual friends or hear updates about Emily. Each encounter brought a mix of emotions, but over time, I learned to handle them with grace. I realized that holding on to anger or resentment would only hinder my own happiness. One day, I received an unexpected email from Emily. She had heard about my promotion and wanted to congratulate me. Her message was brief and polite. I responded in kind, thanking her and wishing her well. It was a small but significant step towards closure, a recognition that we both had moved on with our lives. With the past behind me, I focused on the future. My relationship with Lisa continued to grow, and we began talking about moving in together. We both felt ready for this next step, and it was a testament to the strong foundation we had built. Professionally, I continued to thrive. I took on new challenges, pushing the boundaries of my expertise. The satisfaction I derived from my work was immense, and it was complemented by the happiness I found in my personal life. Finding balance in my life became a priority. I learned to manage my time effectively, ensuring I had space for work, hobbies, and my relationship with Lisa. We developed routines that allowed us to support each other's passions while nurturing our bond. We made a habit of exploring new hiking trails on weekends, attending art galleries, and cooking together. These shared activities strengthened our relationship and created a reservoir of happy memories to draw from during tougher times. As I reflect on my journey, I see a tapestry of experiences, each contributing to who I am today. Emily's infidelity was a painful chapter, but it was also a catalyst for growth and self-discovery. It forced me to confront my flaws, rebuild my life, and ultimately find happiness again. Life is unpredictable, full of twists and turns that can lead us to places we never imagined. My story is a testament to resilience, the power of healing, and the possibility of new beginnings. As I look forward, I do so with hope and gratitude, ready to embrace whatever comes next. One evening, while Lisa and I were preparing dinner, my phone rang. It was an unknown number. I hesitated for a moment before answering. The voice on the other end was familiar. It was Jason, the man Emily had cheated with. He sounded nervous, almost desperate. He explained that he had tried reaching out to Emily but couldn't get in touch with her and wanted to know if I had heard from her recently. I told him I hadn't, and he sighed in frustration. Jason went on to say that he and Emily had broken up a few months ago. He had some unresolved issues and needed to talk to her. I listened, feeling a strange mix of emotions. I felt a slight sense of vindication knowing that their relationship had not lasted. After hanging up, I shared the conversation with Lisa. She suggested that it was a sign of closure, a final confirmation that I had moved on while they were still dealing with the consequences of their choices. A few weeks later, I decided to revisit some old places that Emily and I used to frequent. It was a way to reclaim them, to associate them with new, happier memories. I visited our favorite coffee shop, this time with Lisa, and we spent the afternoon there, laughing and enjoying each other's company. We went to the park where Emily and I had once picnicked, but this time it was for a leisurely walk with Lisa and our dog. These visits were therapeutic. They allowed me to confront my past directly and transform those spaces into something positive. It felt like a cleansing process, removing the last remnants of pain and replacing them with joy and love. One day, I received a letter from Emily. It was unexpected and brought a mix of anxiety and curiosity. In her letter, she apologized for the pain she had caused and expressed her own struggles since our divorce. She admitted that her relationship with Jason had been tumultuous and ultimately unfulfilling. Emily wrote about her efforts to understand her actions and her desire to make amends in some way. Reading her words was a profound experience. It made me realize how much I had grown and changed since our marriage ended. I no longer felt anger or resentment, just a quiet acceptance of our shared past. I wrote back to her, wishing her well and expressing my hope that she would find peace and happiness. At work, a new challenge presented itself. Our company was expanding, and I was offered a position to lead a new project in Denver. It was an exciting opportunity, but it meant relocating. I discussed it with Lisa, and after some thought, we decided to take the leap together. Moving to a new city felt like a fresh start, a chance to build a life together in a place that held no past associations. The move to Denver was both thrilling and daunting. We found a cozy apartment in a vibrant neighborhood and began exploring our new surroundings. The mountains provided a perfect backdrop for our outdoor adventures, and the city's culture was rich and inviting. I immersed myself in my new role, and Lisa found a job at a local design firm. We made new friends and quickly settled into our new life. The move brought us even closer, reinforcing our commitment to each other. Denver became our new home, a place filled with endless possibilities. The project I was leading in Denver was a success, and my career continued to thrive. I was invited to speak at conferences and became a mentor to younger engineers. The professional recognition was gratifying, and it boosted my confidence. Lisa's career also flourished, and we celebrated each other's achievements. Our relationship grew stronger as we navigated the challenges and joys of our new life. We learned to balance our professional ambitions with our personal lives, always making time for each other. After 2 years in Denver, I decided it was time to take the next step in my relationship with Lisa. I planned a surprise proposal during a weekend getaway to Aspen. We were on a secluded hiking trail, surrounded by the stunning beauty of the Rocky Mountains. As we reached a picturesque spot, I got down on one knee and asked Lisa to marry me. Her eyes filled with tears of joy as she said yes. The proposal was perfect, and it marked the beginning of a new chapter in our lives. We celebrated our engagement with friends and family, both old and new. It was a time of pure happiness and anticipation for the future. Planning the wedding was an exciting and sometimes stressful process. We wanted a simple, intimate ceremony surrounded by our closest loved ones. We chose a beautiful outdoor venue in the foothills of the Rockies. The natural beauty of the setting reflected our love for nature and adventure. We worked together on every detail, from the invitations to the menu. It was a labor of love, and it brought us even closer. The support from our friends and family was overwhelming, and it made us realize how fortunate we were to have such a strong support system. Our wedding day was everything we had dreamed of and more. The weather was perfect, and the setting was breathtaking. We exchanged vows under a canopy of trees, with the mountains as our backdrop. Our friends and family witnessed our commitment to each other, and there wasn't a dry eye in sight. The reception was a joyous celebration, filled with laughter, music, and dancing. We felt an immense sense of gratitude for everyone who had supported us on our journey. It was a day of pure happiness and love, and it marked the beginning of our new life together. Married life brought a new sense of stability and fulfillment. We continued to explore the world together, taking trips to new places and creating memories. We talked about our dreams and future plans, always supporting each other's aspirations. Professionally, we both continued to grow, taking on new challenges and opportunities. Our careers were important, but our relationship always came first. We learned to communicate openly, to support each other through the ups and downs, and to cherish the time we spent together. The first year of our marriage was filled with joy and discovery. We settled into our roles as husband and wife, learning to navigate the dynamics of married life. There were challenges, of course, but we faced them together, always communicating openly and honestly. We took a memorable trip to Europe, exploring cities and countryside, experiencing new cultures, and strengthening our bond. It was an adventure that brought us even closer and reminded us of the importance of taking time to enjoy life together. As I reflect on the journey that brought me here, I see a tapestry of experiences, each one shaping the person I've become. Emily's infidelity was a painful chapter, but it was also a catalyst for growth and self-discovery. It forced me to confront my flaws, rebuild my life, and ultimately, find happiness again. Life is unpredictable, full of twists and turns that can lead us to places we never imagined. My story is a testament to resilience, the power of healing, and the possibility of new beginnings. As I look forward, I do so with hope and gratitude. ready to embrace whatever comes next. After a few years of married bliss, Lisa and I began to talk about starting a family. The idea of having children was both exciting and daunting. We discussed our hopes and fears, and eventually decided to take the plunge. We were thrilled when Lisa became pregnant with our first child. The pregnancy brought us even closer. We prepared for the arrival of our baby, turning a spare room into a nursery and attending parenting classes together. The anticipation was thrilling, and we looked forward to the new chapter of parenthood. The birth of our daughter, Ava, was a transformative experience. Holding her for the first time, I felt an overwhelming sense of love and responsibility. Parenthood brought its own set of challenges, from sleepless nights to endless diaper changes, but it also brought immense joy. Lisa and I worked as a team, supporting each other through the ups and downs of new parenthood. Our bond grew stronger as we navigated this new adventure together. Watching Ava grow and develop her own personality was a source of endless wonder and happiness. Balancing work, marriage, and parenthood required careful planning and communication. We made sure to carve out time for each other, even if it was just a quiet evening at home after Ava was asleep. Our careers remained important, but our family always came first. We continued to take family trips, now with Ava in tow, exploring new places and creating cherished memories. It was a busy, sometimes chaotic life, but it was filled with love and fulfillment. Throughout this journey, the importance of a support system became increasingly clear. Our friends and family played crucial roles in helping us navigate the challenges of parenthood. Whether it was babysitting, offering advice, or simply being there to listen, their support was invaluable. We also made new friends through parenting groups and activities. These connections provided a sense of community and shared experience, making the journey of parenthood less daunting. As Ava grew, we celebrated each milestone, from her first steps to her first words. Each achievement brought a sense of pride and joy, reminding us of the incredible journey of parenthood. We documented these moments with photos and videos, creating a treasure trove of memories. Lisa and I continued to grow in our careers, finding fulfillment in our professional achievements, while always prioritizing our family. We learned to navigate the demands of work and home life, finding a balance that worked for us. As I look ahead to the future, I do so with a sense of excitement and gratitude. The journey that brought me here was filled with challenges, but each one taught me valuable lessons about resilience, love, and the importance of staying true to oneself. I am grateful for the support of my friends and family, the guidance of my therapist, and the unwavering love of Lisa. Together, we have built a life filled with love, laughter, and endless possibilities. As a family, we continue to dream and plan for the future. We talk about taking longer trips, perhaps spending a summer in Europe or exploring the national parks in an RV. We look forward to watching Ava grow and supporting her as she discovers her own passions and interests. Life is an ongoing adventure, and we are ready to embrace whatever comes next with open hearts and minds. The journey that began with heartbreak has led to a place of profound happiness and fulfillment. In reflecting on the entirety of my journey, from the pain of betrayal to the joy of new beginnings, I see a story of growth and resilience. The experiences I have been through have shaped me into the person I am today, stronger and more aware of what truly matters in life. As I stand on the threshold of this new chapter, surrounded by love and support, I am filled with hope and optimism. The future is bright, and I'm ready to face it with the same resilience and determination that has carried me through the past. Life, with all its twists and turns, is a beautiful journey, and I'm grateful for every step along the way.